Welcome everyone to the live session with the Butterfly Transformational Experience group. My name is Fola Afolabi, self-confidence coach, licensed MSW. When you know better, you do better is the motto of our group. And if you're watching a replay of this video, please comment replay below. This program is now posting on YouTube at Fola Creative Coaching. By the way, I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas in advance and Happy New Year. I should have said that 2 weeks ago, but I was going through some issues. And I also want to apologize for coming on so late. You won't believe the technical difficulties that I had in trying to do this video. But I said I must complete this video today. I am very passionate about coming on live and presenting my topics. I'm getting tongue-tied over here. So today's topic is I avoid allowing guilt to steal my happiness. And when I came across this topic, I really thought that this is something that everybody goes through. This topic. I mean, how is one supposed to feel when you experience a joyous occasion, a happy occasion, and the next thing you know, you are not able to feel happy or feel joyous about the situation because of guilt, because of the situation around you. And this is a topic that everybody goes through, including myself, and with the way things are going on in the world, there's so many traumatic experiences that people are going through. And if you experience a joyous occasion or a happy occasion, does that make that person selfish or narcissistic because they want to feel good about the situation they're currently experiencing? But at the end of the day, at the end of this video, I will give you my opinion, or I'll give you on how you should go about. I'll give you the guidelines on how you should go about and how you express your feeling or happiness, especially when you experience something that is good towards you, without being selfish or considered to be selfish or narcissistic. As you know, with all of my video sessions, I like to provide a definition of the terms being discussed in this video so that everybody's on the same wavelength. So, of course, the term that we're going to touch on is guilt. According to the Wikipedia, guilt is a moral decision that occurs when a person believes or realizes, accurately or not, that they have compromised their own standards of conduct or have violated a universal moral code. A moral code. Okay, so that is what guilt is. When you feel like you have gone against the society grain. Not every thing that society has out for you should you feel guilty about. Let's put that also. Sometimes there's certain things within one's culture or even in society. With me, I have two things is going for me. I have my culture and I have the society. And there's certain things I do not feel guilty about, even though the culture says I have to do one thing and society tells me I have to do one thing. No, I have to do what makes me happy. So it's not always, you shouldn't always feel guilty based on your society standards or culture. You have to do what makes you happy as a human being and according to your faith, your spiritual faith. So let's put that out there. And did you know, as I was researching guilt, there are 4 types of guilt. There's natural, chronic, collective, and survivor guilt. Again, there's 4 types of guilt: natural, chronic, collective, survivor guilt. Natural guilt is when you offend someone, when you offend somebody, and sometimes when you offend somebody, it might not be of your own doing or malicious intent. It could just that life just happened. Sometimes your job come into being, that you might not be able to fulfill the obligation that you have promised someone. So the best thing for you to do is to rectify that situation, and you reach out to the person and let her and see if you can have see if you can do a do-over or make a appropriate resolution to the to what had happened. So that is what natural guilt. Natural guilt, we all have some natural, because we offend somebody and we feel guilty because that person depended on you. Recently, I was supposed to go to a birthday party over 12 years ago, and I didn't know how much I offended that person. I felt guilty. I just couldn't make it. But did you know that when the person turned around and had another event, I wanted to say, oh, I wasn't able to go. But this woman said, no, I'm not taking it from you. You have to show up. So because of the guilt that I felt, because I did not fulfill my obligation when I actually helped this woman plan her party, and I wasn't able to attend the party, which was heartbreaking for me. It was out of my control then. But then when she had another party, she was like, no, I'm not taking this from you. So that is a form of natural guilt. Natural guilt, and you make resolution. So I couldn't get out this time and say that I wasn't able to go to the party. I made it that I made sure that I made that event, and it turned out to be a glorious event. The second one is chronic guilt. Is when it's prolonged exposure to stress, and in the mental health field, we call this a form of secondary trauma. It's a form of secondary trauma, even though secondary trauma is when you are experiencing what somebody else traumatic experience. You see somebody get hurt, and then you basically take on their feelings. It's a secondary trauma. So that's what chronic guilt feels to me. And chronic guilt, especially when the teachers comes with teachers and social workers working in the mental health field. So, teachers, based on the condition of the school educational system, they're overworked, they're overdrained, emotionally drained. That affects their relationship with the children. Social workers, based on the environment of the agency and the incompetence of the agency, that affects your relationship and how you provide service to your clients based on the resources that are being provided to you by the agency. And this chronic guilt is a major factor in leading to people having burnout, because they're trying to amend the situation, but because of the environment that they're in, they have no control over what's going on. So this chronic guilt leads to burnout. Collective guilt is when it's a shared responsibility. It's like trying to eradicate homelessness in your neighborhood, or trying to feed people in your community, on your building estate where you live at. And when you come to realize that even though you're trying to eradicate a problem, but you realize the situation at hand is bigger than you. So this is what the government and the city agency are supposed to handle. So, and sometimes when you look at what's going on in the world or around you, that it causes people to have some form of depression, or it gives a bad outlook in life. When you see other people and you want to help them, but you can't help them, you feel guilty. That's where the guilt comes from. But know that you do not have any, just also know in the back of your mind that even though you're trying to help, this is something that needs to be done on a social level, government level, micro level, okay? Government, city agency. And unfortunately, collective guilt is not easily resolved. Just take it like that. This is something that's done on a micro level from a social government perspective. silly agencies, stuff like that. This is where they're supposed to come in and take control. And we know how they go. And survivor guilt is when you're witnessing an event, like, and you witness an event, or you and somebody go through a certain event, and they unfortunately get the worst hand, and you feel guilty because you feel that both of y'all should experience the same thing, and you see the person going through so much pain and difficulty, and you feel bad. It breaks your heart. But for some, but in that instances, sometimes life just happens, and you don't have control of it. And I also, and even with guilt, you gotta know that certain things happen that's beyond your control. So guilt is good to have, but also know in the back of your mind that life happens. I can't explain it enough. Life happens. And I'm going to put myself in one of this thing is where you also, life stuff happens that where we allow guilt to 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 take over and steal our happiness, and this is a wrong thing to do, because when things happen that of joyous occasion, happiness, please embellish in the moment. Embellish in the moment, because life is too short. I always say this in my video: when life gives you lemon, you make the sweetest lemonade. You don't let nothing hold you back. Okay? For instance, I'm gonna use a situation that happened on my job. I'm in a leadership position, and I saw one of my subordinates not carrying her weight, and it was bothering me because me and this subordinate, we have a very good relationship, very close relationship, and I was just keeping quiet without trying to offend her. But I had to take a stand as being a leader in the agency. I had to tell her that, you have to carry your weight. You have to do certain things that is required of you by the agency. And when she was trying to guilt trip me, saying that, oh, she's being overwhelmed, I told her that is her job description. There's certain things that we have to do, and we all have to do it in the agency in order for the process in the agency to go smoothly. I felt guilty. Trust me. Hey, I felt guilty, and she felt funny towards me, but I had to stand on my 2 feet and tell her, no, this is how I want it to be done. Because if you don't take control, especially when you're in a leadership position, you gotta let people know that you gotta set boundaries. And this is something I always talk about: set boundaries and protocols that people have to follow. You treat people how to treat you. So, and once you set your boundaries, she knew that she couldn't overcome it or try to find a way to go about it, because I told her that if she doesn't follow it, she will have to follow. There's certain consequences that she will have to follow through, that I will have to proceed. And then she was able to come around. Well, she had no other choice but to come around. But she had to see that I was actually serious. So and I felt guilty about, coming down on her, because me and her had a very good relationship. But you also got to remember that you are, on the job, you got to keep friendship and your job separately. You got to, and also it's very important that you do not allow your personal situation to make you feel guilty or cloud your judgment. And this is what happened on the job, because I almost let my personal situation cloud my judgment. And I had to let her know that, no, I have to follow what the agency hired me to do, which was to be in a leadership position. I'm not there to make friends. I'm there to carry out a job. So, and once I got that straightened out, everything turned out smoothly. So you just You as an individual just have to know, you have to be sensitive to the situation. Not only know what's going on, be sensitive to what's going on around you. Now, if you see that somebody lost their loved ones, be very, very careful and how you approach or how you share your happiness. Because that person might not be receptive to hear what you're saying. But you got to understand what they're going through. They just lost their loved ones, or they're experiencing a traumatic event. You have to be sensitive to other people's feelings, but that doesn't mean that you should allow the guilt to stop you from embellishing in your moment. You still enjoy your moment. Celebrate your celebration. Celebrate everything that happens in your life, because life is full of up and down. And tomorrow is not promised to no one. Okay? Enjoy the moment, because you might not be able to have the opportunity tomorrow. So you have to enjoy the moment. And as I stated before, should you avoid, I avoid, trying to, guilt is, should a person be considered unselfish or narcissistic because they want to share in a good moment or joyous moment? The person's not selfish. They're enjoying their life, because the person today that's enjoying their life today, they're enjoying their position. What about tomorrow? They're no longer. What are you gonna do then? So let people enjoy their life. Let people enjoy their life. It does not mean that somebody is being selfish. Okay? It's just that's just how life is. There's some people we have a ups and downs. One day you're up, another day you're down. That's just life is. That's just how life is. And you just gotta keep it moving. Okay? So now, I haven't done this in a while. I'm going to go over 3 self-reflective questions. And this is something that you can also contact me about if you feel like you have something about this question that you want to go over with. So the first question is, am I making appropriate decision without feeling guilt? Like I stated before, it depends on the situation. Do not allow guilt to cloud your judgment. Do not allow the situation to cloud your judgment. Look at what the situation at hand. Okay, are you being sensitive? Are you being selfish? It's only you can decide. But also remember, there are some opportunities that only happens once in a lifetime. So be very careful to not to don't live for other people. Basically, what I'm trying to tell you, do not live for other people. Enjoy your life. Okay? And do you think it's important to explain your decision to people that you offended or that are affected? It depends on the situation, on how close they are to you. Like I stated before, life happens, things happens, and if the person is very close to you, you explain the situation to them, and you apologize. Now, if they choose not to accept your apology or your resolution, then you leave it up to them. That's their issue, not your issue. You only have one life to live. Okay? So you only have one life to live. You go about your business, let them go about their business. And if they come around, they come around. You can't force anybody to do anything. The third question is, what is my reaction when somebody else's actions are unfavorable to me? I have gotten to a point in my life where I do not force anybody to be my friend. I don't force anybody to do anything for me. I can't force myself to anybody. I reached a stage in my life where you just can't change anybody. You got to accept them for who they are. Accept them for who they are. And if they're willing to change, fine. If they are not willing to change, then you know how to deal with the person. You know how to go about with the person. So you know how to go about. You just you go about your life, let them go about their life. And there's some people that cannot be on the same path as you. That's fine. That's part of life. That's part of growing up. That's part of maturing. So once again, I thank you for watching this live session. I'm sorry that I'm coming on late. I was supposed to come on around 2:30, but technical difficulties that I did not perceive happened. Thank God I'm technically advanced, so where I was able to rectify the situation. And I will try to come on. I try, but sometimes stuff happens. So I will see you hopefully by New Year's, and everybody have a safe and wonderful Christmas celebration and New Year's Day. Okay, and like I said, the motto of the group is when you know better, you do better. I am your number one supporter. And if you want to reach out to me, you can reach out to me either via Facebook, YouTube, or my email at folashcreativecoaching.com. Until next time, and stay safe and be well. Bye.